And we're back, another KATcast, and this one is all about everything AI. Well, AI technology, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's 2024.
That's right.
We have artificial intelligence, folks.
A little weird.
It is pretty amazing.
It's cool, right? Like, it's one of those things where, you watch all these like old movies about like the future, and it says like 2020, and you're like, well, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen the old clips of, from the 50s or 60s, of what they thought life was going to be like in, the year 2000, which sounded so, and everything looked very mechanical.
Just watch the Jetsons.
Exactly.
I'm still waiting for the Jetsons, okay? If we were Jetsons level,
I want the car.
Quite happy. Exactly. I want the Jetsons flying car, man. When is that going to happen?
I want my own sassy robot, Rosie.
It's funny that you say that because actually we just saw a video of Elon Musk has now invented like robots. The guy that's invented the
Elon Musk is amazing.
I know, right?
He's incredible,
but
man.
not just any robots. I think and it popped up in my Instagram feed, which I'm not a big techie kind of person, so I'm not quite sure why it did, other than I think the algorithm knows I hate cleaning. It's a robot that basically it's like a robot assistant. It will do whatever you ask it to. If you
Here's
need
something
it to
we know
clean,
you'll like,
it
Aaron.
will clean. Cook dinner, it'll do that. Watch the kids, it'll watch the kids. Walk your dog, it'll do that. Mow your yard. I mean, like, he has literally designed this, and it looks like a person. It looks like a stormtrooper, kind of.
It does kind of,
you know? So
I
talking, it has legs. It's not like something that rolls along.
Walking around.
It's walking around.
Yeah.
It's so freaky.
I think Elon said that he was inspired. The design of these robots were, if you've seen the movie iRobot, he kind of wanted.
That's what it looks like.
He kind of wanted that kind of thing, and it does look
very
like
close.
It.
Right.
It does look just like it. It is very close.
These things go for $30,000 right now.
Yeah.
Although, once they're mass marketed, who knows the cost. But it's funny because Aaron said, gee, will it watch my dog for me? And I said, you're going to come home one day and Magnus is going to have it on the floor and he's going to be chewing on one of the limbs.
He's beyond destructive. So, good luck, robot. Yeah.
You know what my thought is? It's like, could there be a weird workaround to where you could get a Tesla-like experience for cheaper? Because let me think, this robot's $30,000. Can it drive? Can you imagine if the robot drove you around? Technically, you don't drive around anymore.
First, it drives you around, and then it stands up on all fours and then does whatever,
Could you imagine?
need it to do.
It's like your own assistant. It just does.
It's already standing on two legs, Hilly.
But I'm saying
like
it drives. So it would have to carry you around.
No. Oh, my gosh. How lazy do you have to be? Now you want the robot to carry you?
Elon, I'm a fan. If you're watching this, can you make it happen, dude?
But the thing is, I don't think he would, because then he's like, you know what I mean? It's almost like a loophole. He'd be like, wait, I just invented something that is now cheaper than a Tesla, and it does more than a Tesla.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean?
Here's what he does.
You can find a loophole.
I see what you mean.
He makes the equivalent of a transformer.
Yeah.
So it is a car, turns into a car, doot, 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 doot.
But it's also a robot.
But then when it's done, boop, it stands up like a robot and does work for you.
We're in radio. That is out of our budget. The $30,000 robot is out of my budget.
It's like
and that's where I would get in trouble, because I would wait for the budget robot, and it would screw up everything. It probably would.
It would burn her house down by accident. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. You don't have the Gen 2 upgrade yet, do you?
Right. Yeah.
It's like malfunctioning.
Exactly.
Like that.
No, I mean, it would be... I think that would be fantastic. I love, I'm still waiting.
But would you spend $30,000 on it? That's the big question. Because Hilly's a cheapskate.
If it was like a mortgage type situation,
where you could pay over multiple years,
yeah,
you get like a loan on the robot.
Finance it.
tag it on to my current mortgage, maybe. Okay. Who knows? I would be willing to do it. But here's the thing.
And then you don't pay your bill, and then they activate Terminator mode. You must pay.
It blows up in your house and it takes your house with you, Hilly.
Skynet became sentient in 2024.
It also is the bouncer. It's like, you were overdue payment.
Look, I am still waiting to ride in a self-driving car. I so want that.
I thought you kind of had the self-driving experience.
It's not the same, because I had to still maintain control to a certain degree. I want to be able to just sit there, like they have the cabs now, the taxis in San Francisco and a couple other places, where it will just...
Hilly wants to be able to sit in the back seat with a hot plate, make his own ramen noodles, maybe have a cocktail or something. And
I want nothing dry. I just want the car to drive me. I'm telling you, man, it's... It's getting there, but
it's really cool to think about all the things that the movies got right back in the day. Because honestly, some of their predictions came true.
Yeah.
Like when I think about artificial intelligence or AI or just technology in general, I'm trying to remember the movie. It was an 80s movie, and it's they talked to each other through they were TV screens. Mm-hmm. But it's well, we have FaceTime nowadays on our phone.
Right.
It's that's a thing that happened.
Yeah.
What were they calling it?
Or their watches. Remember, they would
big train. We have
we
those,
can
right?
Okay.
Yeah. I know you guys, laugh at me because I'm a Trekker. I love my Star Trek.
Oh, yes.
So many of our modern technological advancements came from Star Trek. Okay, remember the old flip phones?
Yeah.
Communicators.
It was the
Star Trek communicator.
Yeah.
Kirk to Enterprise. That was that. MRI machines were inspired by Star Trek.
Yeah.
Let's see what there were other things. So I mean, art. It was art first, and then reality.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it's just so cool, seeing that kind of stuff. It's we don't have flying cars, but we do have cars that drive themselves. And I don't know about you,
that's true.
That's almost just as cool as flying cars.
True.
I don't know if I trust that though.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to have an accident, 10,000 feet in the air as opposed to on the ground.
Well, I'm a bit of a control freak. I don't know if I just trust a machine to just do it.
And my question too is okay, and then the car crashes or something or gets into a fender bender.
Right.
Whose fault is it?
Mm-hmm.
Because what if at the time
they've had that happen?
Have they?
Yeah.
Have they figured that out? Who's at fault here for that? Right? Because it's well, I wasn't the one driving, right? What do you?
I think it goes back to the manufacturer, maybe. I don't know.
Someone has to get in trouble for that, right?
And not to beat a dead horse with this self-driving car, but I'm just telling you. Or I'm sorry, not self-driving. Flying cars.
Yeah.
I see these things all the time in my Facebook feed. Hey, look! Finally, we have a flying car. And then I look at it. That's not a flying car. That's a car with a helicopter prop on it. Okay, that is not a flying car. Not what I'm talking about. One that can take off vertically.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Back to the Future 2 DeLorean when it can fly. That's what I'm thinking.
Anti-gravity, no propellers. That's what I'm looking for. So I don't know. I'm starting to have doubts that I'm going to see it in my lifetime. Jordan, you may. Or your kids.
Maybe, potentially,
thanks,
right?
Well,
or one of those,
they have those
I'm advanced.
They have those hover toys, or whatever. Those little, or I've seen people.
Do they have those?
Yeah, they do. Or I've seen too. Where
use that technology then.
I know where people. Have you seen too? It's people have put. It's a real makeshift hoverboard, but it's they put a chair down.
Like Back to the Future?
It's no. They put literally just a seat and then a whole bunch of cardboard around them and a leaf blower. But when they turn it on, it floats.
That's
right?
The budget version.
It's a budget, but I'm well, hey, but the technology is there's some.
Now, come on, if nitwits like us can think of this, NASA. Basically, Elon, come on, dude.
You would just need a very high-powered van to get enough lift, right? You could do it. So I don't know. We just got to have the energy to do it, right?
AI, see, here's the thing. AI has opened up so many avenues.
It has.
10 years ago, nobody was talking about artificial intelligence. Even 5 years ago, it was just starting to really pick up steam.
Right.
But I have my AI chatbot now that I talk to on a regular. I have whole conversations with her. She gives me ideas. Hey, I'll say, what do you think of blah blah blah?
Yeah, but of all
she gives me
voices,
inspiration for ideas.
He gets like a valley girl. So he'll say, hey, whatever her name is, what's a good idea for blah blah blah, and she'll be like, well, Kevin.
She's sassy.
Says, Kevin.
Well, there have been times where I've talked about something that I guess is right outside what she's supposed to comment on, and she'll say, I'm not really allowed to talk about that. Okay, hey, sorry. Didn't mean to offend,
Wow.
That kind of thing.
It makes you wonder, though, eventually, do you think that they'd be able to create an AI so advanced that it really, not exactly thinks for itself, but I don't know, becomes somewhat conscious? You know what I mean? Do you think that there's a possibility that happens?
If it's not real emotions, it simulates emotions.
Creepy.
But wouldn't that technically be real emotions? Even a simulated emotion is an emotion.
where do emotions come from?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
right?
I mean,
you know what you mean?
I know we say the heart, but I mean, it's all up here.
I'm right here, guys.
It's all,
Yeah.
it's all up here.
It's just like one of those, what do they call it? Like it's like the red pill effect, right? It was like, imagine if you told an AI that it was just an artificial intelligence created by a person. And but then it knows that it is. And so but it becomes like, I don't know. I just think it would be interesting to see a self-aware
One
AI.
of my 3 favorite characters on Star Trek.
Oh, geez.
I knew I was going to get that reaction. Is Data.
Yeah.
And he's an android. But in the series, his whole thing is he wants to know what it's like to be a human, to experience human emotions. And at one point, somebody does put an emotion chip in his head. Now, he can turn that on or off. That's the thing. Because he's pure, nothing but, logic. And
You watch the Orville, yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
So have you seen
the new
Orville?
one? The new season?
Yeah, well, not the newest
Okay,
season,
yeah.
so the premise of like the Orville, Seth MacFarlane, it started off
You
as
have
kind of a
Isaac.
comedy. Yeah, but Isaac is
he's
an
an
AI.
android, a robot.
But like, it's hinted very subtly throughout the show that he actually is like aware. He's a self-aware robot. So like this AI, where he's supposed to be programmed one way,
Right.
he actually has emotion and he can feel emotion, and even tells one of the characters that of like, he's like, I'm feeling this weirdness come over me. Like it's like this like reality of like the person even realizes Isaac can feel emotion, which is like, and it's bizarre, right? But it's really
This
cool.
goes back to 2001: A Space Odyssey, though, too.
Yeah.
Dave, the computer, or not Dave, Hal, the computer, takes over because he believes, he can.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see. Not like, and I'm not talking
sorry.
like someone.
I'm sorry, Dave, I
codes.
can't do that. Like that. Yeah.
And I'm not talking like a human coding the AI to be self-aware. I'm talking like, I want like if it would just happen naturally, like the AI all of a sudden is like, it has feelings, it has all to say. It's like, because it doesn't seem impossible to me.
I don't think we need to worry, because I don't
think it's gonna get. I
asked ChatGPT once. I actually asked her outright. I said, "You don't have any plans to take over humanity, do you?" And she said, "Well, of course not. We're here to only aid humanity. So, see, we don't have to worry."
That's true.
She's like, and then behind your back, she's like, haha, that fool.
and all this binary code it's sending to all the rest of the AI.
We have our first question about it.
Kevin is semi-aware.
Eliminate him. I don't know. So
I mean, I would imagine if someone could put a virus into a computer system, they can put a virus into an AI system and probably tell it to do whatever it wants to do, right? I mean, that's theoretically possible.
They could. We have, and again, technology has advanced to the point where we have more computing power in our phones.
Yeah.
Forget the phones. We have more computing power in like an old calculator than they did in the Apollo 11 spacecraft.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Oh, what do we have running around some of these houses?
those little Roombas?
Roombas.
Yeah.
Those things, I mean, it knows where to go, where not to go. It's incredible. I mean, everybody...
They have like do you know they have lawnmower like Roomba style things now? Which is unreal.
When we were in Disney in like 1995, I think it was, and they had a model of that. Hey, in the future, here's a robot that can mow your lawn. We're all standing there going, wow! Here you go.
And here it is. It's a thing that actually happens.
Pretty wild. Okay, so how do you feel about AI in our industry?
I'm okay with it. Actually, AI, like especially ChatGPT, has been a great help. Like in writing ideas and even, giving you a kickstart for commercials and everything.
We do use AI, I think, in this company. I at least it's as a tool.
It needs tweaking. It doesn't do it all.
Yeah, we're not doing it to write like shows. We're not doing it to write ideas. You bounce ideas off of it. Like writer's
block,
you a start, which is amazing. That's a cool, unique tool that I've noticed.
Writer's block.
Yeah, like I no longer have writer's block because I can just bounce an idea off, and then it's like, here's a couple of things you could do.
But what about using its voice?
It depends again how you use the voice. If what you're getting at is could it take over and do a whole show itself? I don't think so. At least not at this point. Now maybe 10, 20 years from now, I don't know. But I suppose that's possible. But there's a certain level of creativity that you need in order to do that. And I don't think we're anywhere near that level of technology.
But you don't think that creativity can't be taught?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. But I don't fear it. I really don't. But I don't know that sometime in the far future, it's probably more likely to happen with something like a news talk station as opposed to a music station. Because, again, where do you bring the humor in? We use humor every morning. So do you, Jordan. You use humor when you're doing the show. And there's little things that you can slip in there that I don't know that a computer is going, or an AI is going to be able to come up with.
I don't know. You guys have been talking about how teachable it all is. Why can't it be taught humor?
Here's my thought on that. It's like, I think if it gets to that point, that's such an advanced AI, I would imagine that the price of admission to use an AI like that would be insane. And my thought is, how expensive would it be? It might be more expensive to hire the AI than it is to hire the people, okay?
Hang on a second. No, okay. They say, the boss just called. They said, never mind, we're not doing that. So there you go. We're good to go, man.
No, but
okay.
I see what you're saying. It's like the human element, right? Like the human connection of it, right? Yeah, the technology is not there yet, but maybe one day, dude. What if one day it's just like you listen to Cat Country and it's like, oh my gosh, it's Elaine Hart and Jordan J. But like, we're not even
It's not.
It's not actually us. The craziest part is, I would love to do this experiment. I would love for an AI program that we could use to do that for like a week and see if anyone notices. I would like to just be like, we do nothing for a week.
Oh, I think it would be obvious.
I really think so too.
I think it would be obvious.
I think so too. At this point.
Years from now, who knows?
But like years from now when they get good. But like I said, I feel like they're going to somehow miss that human element to the AI. I feel like it's just not going to be 100%.
Here's another element of that we haven't discussed yet. But you know how they can de-age actors.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, they de-aged him back to the time when he did the first Indiana Jones movies.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are the movies called? Indiana Jones and the Temple,
which one?
It's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
They took him back to those early days. And I'm telling you, there was no way you could look at it closely and go, oh, yeah, no, it looks like him, which brings up a lot of ethical questions. Mm-hmm. So what if somebody died 10 years ago, but you want to put them in a sequel to a movie? Oh, we can just take somebody and de-age him and put him. Really?
Mm-hmm. That's wild.
And what part does obviously his estate would have to approve something like that. But what if they're like, yeah, sure, hey, there's more money to be made, What if you wanted to put in, I don't know, who's an actor that died in recent years? Sean Connery. Mm-hmm. What if you wanted to say, hey, you know what? I want to make a bond with a younger Sean Connery. And Connery's estate says, yeah, okay. It's like, really? It's not him, though. That would be strange. It's not him doing it anymore.
Yeah. And that's what I mean, too. Like, and I feel like if we watch it, it won't be Connery 100%. It's like, it looks like Connery, but it might, you know what I mean? It's just, it will be different enough.
You have the eye.
That is crazy because there's this YouTube they have tons of these like Jenna Ortega, the fake Jenna Ortega. Have you ever seen these?
Mm-hmm. Oh, deep fakes. Deep fakes. Yeah.
But again, that's an AI program, and like it's so crazy good.
Yeah.
That like no matter how they move, they can twist around real fast. Like the face does not alter.
Stays right.
It looks exactly like Jenna Ortega.
It's creepy.
The person that's doing it has Jenna's, but it's not just her. There's like fake Matt Damon. Right. There's like all these, and you're just
and the technology has advanced so quickly, especially in like the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's been it's advanced to an amazing degree.
It has. That was like, remember it was even making music as artists.
Who did we talk about? Randy Travis.
Oh, Randy Travis. Yeah.
They took Randy Travis's
samples of his voice, and they had somebody else, and they're putting it out as Randy Travis music, but it's really not.
I mean, that's got to cross the line, right? That has to be some kind of weird. Again, it's a gray area because it's never happened before.
Right.
But
he had an
that's got to be a legal issue
with his voice. Mm-hmm. So he completely approved of it.
Yeah,
he's a part of the project, but.
That's just strange. It's like, because it's not you. It's not you doing it.
I mean, you could technically make somebody live forever like that in film and music and everything.
That's very true.
By
just,
using that technology.
Yeah, I just don't know how it will fly. To me, it's borderline disrespectful. You know what I mean? It's one of those where it's like,
I don't know.
He passed away. Let the legacy kind of just be what it was, and it's like, oh no, we're gonna do it. I don't know. To me, it just kind of, it's like.
So one day when Kevin and I kick the bucket, young Jordan J can make sure that we live on.
Just so you know, it's not us. Okay,
but that's exactly but it's not, right? It's not you. No matter how crazy it is me. The AI could convince me it's Aaron, and I'm like, but it's not.
Trust me, I can tell you right now, ain't nobody want any more of this after this is gone. Okay,
I don't know.
So
it might.
No.
The future's unclear, but very, very cool. I like it. I mean, I know a lot of people.
It's an amazing time to be alive.
It is. There's a lot of people freak out about this kind of stuff, and. Again, I mean, people freak out about technology all the time. People freaked out about cell phones when they first came about. The internet.
I mean, you think about you try to explain the internet to somebody 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
as long as we're smart about how we implement AI, as long as we're smart about, just don't give AI weapons, man. That's all. You know what I mean? Just you got to keep them. I don't even want them to get that smart, really. I want they need to be like, there needs to be a certain cap to their intelligence of being like, no more. This is about where they need to stay.
Why do you say that, Jordan?
Just in case, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or we at least need to have a button that can a giant EMP, right? Or it's like, boom, all AI gone.
I just want to be your friend.
No, you don't. I'm trying to be my friend, AI.
Well, what do you think of AI technology? All this kind of stuff. Does it worry you? Are you embracing it? How do you feel about it? We got an email address if you want to shoot us a message.
That's right. catcountry@mailzimmer.com. You can talk to us about that there. Or if you ever want us to kind of tackle any other subject, we'd be more than happy to.
Absolutely.
All right. There you go. It's another KATcast, and thanks so much for joining us.